What's going on, guys? Welcome back. So we have like I'm not sure what we want to call this video. You can kind of call it like a final review video on the Mercedes-Benz Actros MP4 chassis. So yeah, we'll just we'll just call it that. So we got the final review video on the Mercedes-Benz Actros MP4 chassis. So let's go ahead and show you what I did to it, and it's not 100% done because there's actually the side skirts actually has to go on, but that's part of the body, and I still gotta clear coat that. The interior and chassis, or the interior and body, I had not touched since the last other video. The body is still in its bare color, so there's no clear on it yet. I'm planning on doing that tomorrow, and the interior. So, but I've been working on this thing non-stop, so that's why there hasn't been any videos this week. But finally got this thing done and it's patched up, so let's go ahead and show you what we did to it. So the chassis alone, this whole assembly it's basically a model by itself. I mean, if you really want to, you can display this in a display case by itself with no body if you really want to. I mean, this is a very highly detailed chassis. It's super cool. So the chassis alone, it has over 200 parts, which is incredible. Over 200 parts. There has to be easily over 200 parts because there's only 341 parts in this kit, and I don't think there's any more than 110 parts left. So there's easy over 200 parts just the chassis alone, which is fantastic. I mean, this thing is so detailed. I can't get over it. So let's go ahead and show you what we did to it, and then wrap up this video. So the chassis alone, the chassis is actually molded in 2 different pieces. So it's actually 4 pieces because each side frame is molded in 2 pieces. You actually have to glue together. So there's 4 pieces, and then you get the cross members and stuff you got to put on. You basically assemble the whole chassis all in one prior to paint, because the whole chassis is all one color basically. There's not multiple colors on this thing, on any semi truck at all. They basically put the whole thing together and then they paint it all in one unit. Now with Mercedes-Benz, they don't use black chassis. I read that somewhere. I watched a video on it, and it even says it on the instructions, on the instruction manual on this kit. It says it's like a really dark gray, which it is. Mercedes-Benz, you can paint it any color. They say they have over 1,000 different colors for chassis colors, what customers can choose. Red, blue, any kind of color, orange even. So chassis color, it's your choice. You can do whatever color you want, but I kind of want to do like a factory form chassis, which the factory form chassis is like a really dark gray. So that's what I did, and I don't really like covered chassis, to be honest, but who knows? Maybe next year's scoop build I might do a covered chassis for a change. But that's what we did. It's a really dark gray. It's really dark. So, but you can definitely tell between the fenders. The fenders are semi-gloss black, and you can tell the difference. So, but the fenders look fantastic. They're semi-gloss black, like I mentioned. The tail lights were on there. Very awesome. The engine alone is fantastic. I mean, the engine is wonderful. I mean, if you want to just get this kit just for the engine, I don't blame you. The engine in this thing is just so cool. Now you got a bunch of hoses. You got the exhaust right here. A bunch of hoses. I think this is a air tank, I believe, because there's a tube that connects right to it, and it connects right to the turbo, which is actually pretty cool. Now you might see there's a bunch of hoses and wires connected to the engine and stuff. There's actually no fitment issue. I'm gonna say that right now. There's 0 issue with this chassis. All these hoses on this chassis went on no problem, which is fantastic. The exhaust connects. You see the rear hose that goes up and down, and you gotta get the exhaust under that hose. There we go. And then that connects to the turbo also. I mean, I just can't believe how well this thing actually went together. It is really nice. Super awesome kit. So, but yeah, the whole engine assembly, the radiator, all that stuff, basically all up here, it went together. No problem, no issue, nothing. The engine, I did weather a little bit. I did put some fuel stains. I did put engine grime and then some little fresh engine oil on there. Because I don't want it super shiny, because these semi-truck engines are not really shiny to begin with. And I kind of want this truck to be used. So there's some staining on it, and there's some, little rust, not rust, but, engine grime and stuff on it. So, but I don't want to look overused, make things just beat up and just full oil, because I did want to make it look like they're taking good care of it. So yeah, just some little grime and stuff on the engine, make it look, a bit used. But other than that, whole engine and all that went together. Yeah, put the radiator on to the engine first, and then the whole engine with the radiator actually slides onto the chassis. And I thought that was gonna be an issue because I thought it was gonna be warpage, but nope, there was no warpage. Everything went on there. I just can't believe how well it put together, because you gotta line up the hoses, the radiator hoses, and there's 2 of them on each side, and you gotta line up the radiator fan, and it goes in the slot. I mean, I thought there was gonna be an issue there, but there was no issue. I was really, really happy. So all of the aluminum and chrome parts and steel, it's ALCLAD. It's all ALCLAD. Engines ALCLAD aluminum, tanks aluminum, the suspension / power tower aluminum, and then the radiator, drive shaft steel. This is steel too, and then chrome, and wheels are chrome from ALCLAD. All from ALCLAD. I don't know how. I did a how-to video on ALCLAD. If you haven't seen it yet, it's right there in the corner. Go ahead and check it out after this video. Yeah, so it's all ALCLAD. Looks fantastic. And then the 5th wheel, I did my little technique of the grease. If you don't know my technique, I actually did this on my last year's group build. The grease I use is actually white lithium grease. It's one of the greases out there that has hardly any smell to it. It doesn't have that smell that you get nauseous with. Very little smell to it. So I went ahead and poured a little bit on a paper towel, and then, or cup actually, and then I went ahead and got some flay hole paint, acrylic paint, and make it black, and mixed it up a little bit, and it doesn't smell like, grease at all. It smelled like just flay hole paint from the beginning with. Now, since this has been on here for almost a week, or past a week now, and it smells like nothing. So white lithium grease, go ahead and use that stuff, because that stuff does not have no smell to it and doesn't have a smell where you can get nauseous with. So, but yeah, that's the grease I use, and with a little bit of black flay hole paint, fantastic. I mean, get a little cotton swab or a Q-tip and just put it on there. Not too much, because there's not really a big gab of grease on there. Just grease on there just so the shear can actually turn without scraping against the 5th wheel all the time. The grease just helps the shear slide on it on off better and turn better. But other than that, the chassis is done. I want to do a final review on this alone. That's why I call this video a final review video, because it's basically a final on the chassis before the body gets stuck onto it, and you're not going to really see much of it at all. Well, from the front at least. But other than that, that's gonna wrap up this video. I'm gonna go ahead and tomorrow I'm gonna go ahead and get the 2nd tone of the interior on and get the clear coat on the body, and then we should be downhill from there, hopefully. But we had the main part done. I think that's the hardest part, the chassis. All 6 wheels are touching the ground. I know it's most complicated part is get all tires on the ground, but this one has no issue. All 6 wheels are touching, which is fantastic. So we're gonna go ahead and put this off the side and get my focus onto the interior and chassis, or the interior and body. There we go. Chassis done. So, but other than that, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think. I think it would turn out pretty cool. But until my next video, I'll catch you guys next time. Bye for now.